I ask you, what if the door you've been grieving over that has been closed, that the Lord is trying to make room for something new, perhaps even keeping you from disaster? It's only the Lord that can make what does not exist. And so I invite you today. I invite you today to perhaps look at what might be on the horizon for you. And I think Isaiah 43, 18 and 19 is your answer. First of all, the first verse says, do not dwell on the past. In other words, don't focus on what's happened. Don't focus on what possibly doesn't look like it's going to take place. Don't put your focus there. Instead, look at what new opportunities perhaps he's bringing, what new creations, because in verse 19, he says, look, I'm doing a new thing. I am placing a stream of water in your wilderness. So I think the Lord is inviting us. All of us have doors that didn't look like they were going to open. And yes, we do ponder over them, but it's important to stop putting your focus on that and place your focus on what is the new thing. Place your focus on what is the new thing. And next, I think it's important to understand that only God holds the keys to your destiny. Only God, not your friends, not your boss, not your career, not your anyone. It's God. Isaiah 22:22 says, I will place the keys on his shoulders, the keys to the house of David. The doors he opens, no one can shut. And what he shuts, no one can open. And I just suggest to you that when a door is shut, it means another one's about to open. So that's where you want to place your focus. Another way to look at no more grieving, no more looking back. In other words, we don't drive by looking at the rearview mirror, do we? No, we have to look forward. If Christ is at the wheel, then we're going forward. And that's what I'm inviting you to do today. And then I would just only say this, that God is the God of the impossible. Luke 1:37 says, there is no thing impossible for God. So let's just take a look at a couple of things that seemed impossible. Well, first of all, wine from water. How about feeding 5,000 from 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread? What about Peter walking on the water? How about Abram fathering a child at 125, Isaac, 125 years old? Sarah was, I think, 95. Impossible. So these 3 areas I just would ask you to look at, and I would ask you to stop focusing again on what hasn't happened. Instead, look for the new thing that is coming. And we just ask, Father, that you would place on the heart of whoever is perhaps looking at this to continue to release and to turn to God. Let go and let God take care of showing you why perhaps someday you were not meant to do what you thought you should. Father, we thank you that you're with each person who is viewing this today. We bless them and keep them, Lord. And I always send you off with a blessing. I always send you off with a blessing.